Fuck.
I'm fine. Hey, what's going on? Welcome, everybody, to the Chop Sports Daily, coming to you live from the Flipping Made Easy studio right here in Matawan, New Jersey. I could say that in my sleep now at this point, honestly. It is Sturch. It is Gooch. Nick behind the glass. Madison has returned. She made it through her sabbatical of what is it, LBI? LBI. So she's back. The Palumbo is in the house. The Palumbo representative is in the house. The only Palumbo representative that I can actually tolerate at Chop Sports. I'm talking to you, Jimmy. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody had a good, what's today? Tuesday. So Tuesday was yesterday. Wednesday's today. So welcome to Hump Day. We made it through half the week. I said it was Sturch and Gooch already. There's pretty much nothing else. If you want to support the show, please do so by heading on over to patreon.com/ChopSports. $3, $5, $10 increments. That's the way to do it. That is the way to support the show, support the brand. Brand new merchandise also available right now at chopsports.shop as we move into Chop Studios, which, again, transferred little thing there. Chop Sports Media has a brand new logo. There's a whole lot of new stuff over on the old website. Not the website. Website will be done by September 1st. The old shop. Yes, you made it look very pretty. Kudos to you for that one. So chopsports.shop. Go buy some stuff. Support the brand. Yeah, that's it. So let's get right into it. Let's get right into Gooch's rundown because there's a lot going on.
There's actually not.
All right, well, I lied then. Today we'll be previewing Who Dat Nation. I did talk to our boy Craig. I said it's the Saints Day. He's like, I better call. All right, Craig, call. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Or just comment in the comments.
Just comment.
Yeah, don't comment. I mean, don't call.
You don't have that.
Don't comment either, actually.
We're not set up for the call.
We are. I mean, all I have to do is pull out a couple things here.
Anyway,
we're back. Gooch, rundown.
We are back. The rundown. College football. I talked yesterday about how ESPN rejected the Big Ten deal, or vice versa. Yeah, it was ESPN rejected the deal. It was a $2 billion deal or something crazy like that. Big Ten now signs with Fox Sports, CBS, and NBC Sports. So while they left, or they got burned by ESPN, I guess you could say, they took $30 million less a year on the new deal. So they didn't necessarily win, but they didn't lose either.
No, but like I told you yesterday, they had nothing before that. They just had the Big Ten. So to sign a contract with anybody is great. I mean, it's less than ESPN offered, but it's still
the Big
massive.
Ten. I would say they lost here because they got $30 million less a season. So whichever way you're looking at it, they proposed one, it got rejected. I don't know if the proposal was less, but it's over 3 networks. So it's confusing how that's going to work out. But I also don't really give a shit. We just didn't have much for the rundown. So there's that. NBA news. We heard about Kevin Durant yesterday and his discontent with the ownership and the front office and coaching staff of the Nets. And reports have been coming out for the past 2 or 3 months, really, that Kyrie is in the same position. Kyrie came out yesterday and disputed that. And he said, no, I'm cool with everybody. He's like, I did ask to see where Kobe's MVP trophy was at dinner, but I'm still cool with Steve Nash. That was a joke. He didn't really do that.
Speaking of Kobe Bryant, did you read anything about that today?
The helicopter crash. There's a legal battle with his wife, I believe, and I think TMZ or whatever news outlet
TMZ went nuts first. Yeah,
the photos of the helicopter crash. Those were supposed to be confidential. I'm not sure who has the rights in this one because a picture is a picture. Who's to say who could post a picture? I mean,
it's rough.
Either way, it's a tough situation all around. It's not the only legal battle that Vanessa Bryant's been in. She also had to deal with Nike releasing sneakers that she didn't approve of with like her daughter's name on it. Oh, yeah. So that's a shitty thing. Nike's a great company.
It's an invasion of privacy trial.
Oh, what'd you say?
It's an invasion of privacy trial against the deputy that was walking around, going around.
Was his name Mark Furman? Anybody know that reference?
Why does that sound familiar?
He's the guy that planted the glove in the OJ case.
I was gonna say I know that name. Where do I know that?
Terrible police work out in LA.
Oh my Atlanta.
Major League Baseball. Don't look now, but the Baltimore Orioles are a half a game out of the final wild card spot.
Go.
And the interesting thing about the Orioles situation is that they were sellers at the deadline, moving off of Trey Mancini. And I respect what their general manager did. He actually traveled on the team plane to wherever the Orioles were playing, and he met with the team and you're in the heat of a playoff race, a pennant chase, and the Orioles, they haven't had meaningful baseball in a while, and Trey Mancini's been there for the entire suck. You know, like he battled through them, not winning games for 6-7 seasons. And as they start to right the ship and turn things around a little bit, they ship off their team leader. The Orioles basically released to their fan base, like, all in liftoff in 2023, but they're really in the firm of
This happened to the Yankees
playoff
too.
race.
Remember that?
It did, but that was a clear seller's time. That's
I
when
was
they
just
got-
saying, like
the only reason why it worked out
The
for
mojo
Yankees was
can-
because that allowed them to call up Sanchez, Judge. That
Truth.
was the year that we did all that.
Yeah.
It was the Glaber trade.
Yes.
That was the Cubs
Ooh,
World
fuck,
Series.
you're right.
So that did work out for the Yankees. Hopefully, for the Yankees' sake, it doesn't work out for the Orioles because I don't really want to see them get good. It's cool now while they're
like it's cute.
while they've been
right?
shit for a while, but
It's a cute little
trust
team.
me, I will hate the Orioles very much soon.
Right.
And speaking of bottom feeders in the AL East, the Yankees are now
Stop.
10-17 in their last 27 games.
Bottom feeders.
And look, I only said that to piss Dave off. I'm a Yankee fan too, Dave. So
What's that say?
I don't know why you were 71-40.
That's their record.
I know,
means
but
they're
it's,
good
what
at
have you done for
baseball.
me lately? There is clear damage, whole damage, as I
We'll
steal
talk
Jimmy
about it after
Palumbo's
you're done.
words. There's real damage, and I'm alarmed. You have 13 innings of baseball. That was the most painful Yankee game that I've watched.
Oh, I mean, I went to
I
sleep.
haven't watched many games this year, surprisingly, and I did sit through this one, and I stayed up for it. And man, oh man,
Scoop saying the base running was so bad. Like,
just in general. First of all,
what's his face had the right idea though with the whole like
This
when there's a
whole 13
rundown, you're
thing-
supposed to keep
Can
going.
we just load the bases in the 10th? Like, like I'm trying, at least for the West Coast, right? Like, so West Coast games,
Yeah.
just 10th inning, extra innings, load the bases, and
Sack fly wins it.
yeah, sack fly wins.
Like, that's it.
Home
Game
team
over.
doesn't get a chance.
Right.
all
No,
that.
you're
We just
right.
end this
The
fucking game.
visiting team gets
Because
one up.
damn,
Done.
man, I was committed to that. And,
Oh man.
man, it was a bad commitment. NFL news. Finally, we did it, guys. NFL's here again. Deshaun Watson and the NFL and Roger Goodell, they are beefing heavy. Roger Goodell is like not happy. The
Wow.
judge. The problem with having an outside arbitrator in this case for the NFL's problem, and maybe the league's, the fan base's problem, the Shield's problem, is that they literally, and the woman said, the judge said, she's like, well, I went by precedent. I took my opinions out of it, and that's why he got 6 games. Precedent in situations that are similar. There was no violence, and that was a major contributing factor. I read the whole report.
Yeah, but then Goodell came out and said, like, well, there's evidence of just egregious acts.
Well, this is the problem. When you're dealing with a court of law, like they almost always act on precedent.
sure.
So this is what they did in this case. There's other determining factors, and the NFL only presented 5 cases, which we talked about. So that's the only things that she could factor in. While it was egregious, and she had some disparaging things to say to Watson in the whole decision process.
Mhm.
Roger Goodell called Deshaun Watson's behavior predatory. And when you're using the word predatory, it's hard that you're going to say he's not playing this year. Like Deshaun Watson's not playing this year.
Do you think that that's a thing? Like I know at the end of the day, Goodell has final say, I guess. Then that means it's done. Like
At least one season. So if you're going to give him at least one season, that's pretty
so
much.
what was the actual point of doing this whole process with the judge and the this and the that when
Well, I'm gonna tell you-
Goodell already
I'll
knew
tell
everything?
you the point.
But I'm saying Goodell already knew everything. So why don't we just say, all right, fuck everything else. Let's just suspend this clown for a year for what he did. If he's an animal or is a predator or whatever the fuck he wants to describe, that's it. Done.
Seemingly
Wipe
in
your
these
hands.
situations, it's like they're acting on precedent and they're basing the precedent off of what the NFL has done in the past. Because I feel like with each case, there's like a new way of handling it. Every time somebody's going to get suspended, it's like, oh, we got to wait for this to happen. And then there's an arbitrator. And then there's,
Yeah, we need
what they're
arbitrators
doing-
for shit like this.
What they're
Come
doing
on.
is a lot like what they do in just everything, what they did with the pandemic. They just throw a ton of misinformation out. They have people pick a side, and then they keep on recycling the news story.
and then they put a
Bro,
massive
this is the
Band-Aid on it. Like,
this is the
this'll
13th
fix it.
time that we've talked about Watson in like
It's unbelievable.
22 days, and we've gotten next to nowhere.
None.
But
Zero.
we've talked about it at length, so that's what they're doing. I mean, it's the media that's deciding what goes out. It's not necessarily the NFL. So
Like Goodell knew exactly what he was doing. And he's like, all right, that's cool. Great judgment. 6 games? Not going to. Like, this is Goodell trying to puff his chest a little bit and say, you know what? No. I don't care what you presented. This is what I know based off the evidence of the cases and all this other shit. 24 women. Goodbye.
It's very
Goodbye.
rare where I'm so invested in a situation where I think both people are pieces of shit, and I don't like either one of them. And that goes for Deshaun Watson and Roger Goodell. And I wouldn't even say that I'm really invested in it. I just curious to know how it's going to play out. But both guys are scumbags. I'm rooting for neither one of them.
I'm not.
I don't like Goodell,
you know
but
what?
I think he should suspend Watson for a year.
I'm not. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not rooting for either party, right, at all, because I'm not in the players' union and I don't work for Goodell, right? So I don't care what happens. I just think that if Goodell has went out and said this on record yesterday, right, then this is a wrap. Like, this is a complete
if
fucking
Goodell said
wrap.
if Goodell said
Goodbye.
it, and Goodell is the one that's deciding it, what is the holdup?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what do we like?
Why
He's
are
like,
we
oh,
still
based
here?
off the evidence. Oh,
Like,
you got evidence that
guys,
we didn't
I'm
know
just gonna
about?
tell you this right now. When Deshaun Watson's suspension comes, we're not talking about it. Like, that's a deal.
I'll talk about it.
I'm not. What day is that going to be? Never.
It'll
Fucking
come.
week 4.
It's gonna happen.
All right.
It's just a
So,
fucking
matter of time.
joke.
the Las Vegas Penitentiary has now got a new starting running back.
Oh,
and
yes.
that is Marshawn Lynch.
Beast
Marshawn
mode.
Lynch caught that fade at like 4 a.m. the other day,
He looks
yesterday in Vegas.
fantastic, by the way.
And memes on Ghetto Gronk and all that are just exactly what you'd expect him to be. Just great work by all the meme accounts, the NFL meme accounts, having Henry Ruggs and Marshawn Lynch seeing each other in prison and things like that. Well, Marshawn's probably not going to go to prison. I believe it's his first DUI that I know of.
I was going to say that's probably not
It's
the
his
case.
first since being in the NFL. So he's not in the NFL anymore. And speaking of a black eye for the NFL and potentially for somebody else in this case, Frank Gore was arrested yesterday on a simple assault charge connected to a domestic violence investigation.
Christ.
Now, let's not all jump the gun here and start
It's a jump to
Railroading.
conclusions, Matt.
Frank Gore, because in domestic violence cases, there is certain things that have to take place. It is a simple assault charge. So to me, it's seeming a little bit like he may not have done anything. And because he's the male in this situation, to protect a potential victim from not saying something, they separate the two. The guy always gets arrested. Very similar to the Jerry Jeudy incident, where Jerry Jeudy, all the charges were dropped. He's charged. He's not convicted. So let this play out. I'm not going to rush to judgment on Frank Gore just yet, because nothing about anything he's ever done in his career or off the field leads me to believe that he's having issues. But that has nothing to do with his potential relationship. So we'll see how that plays out. But I choose to believe in Frank Gore at this juncture. Less interesting, but equally as important news. Sean McVay and Les Snead Sean McVay got his extension. They haven't announced the details yet. I believe Les Snead, this is the GM of the Rams, will be getting his contract extension today, and they're going to dual announce that. So the Rams, they're talking shit too. McVay was like, oh, I thought super teams didn't work. Well, how about this? And he said, motherfucker, it fucking worked. And that was Sean McVay's quote. You're a douche.
I like it.
Yeah,
Shows
I like
moxie. You know,
he's still a douche. Broncos are interested in Jalen Reagor on the heels of the Tim Patrick injury. That's all I got for the rundown. Back to you, Dave. NFL Power Rankings.
Rager,
Yeah.
of all people in the league, you're going to go after Jalen Rager. Why? Because he's the easiest obtainable? Because the Eagles don't even want him?
No.
That's how you know he's
because
bad.
what I've been saying is just because the Eagles fucked up and drafted Jalen Reagor in the first round doesn't mean that he's not.
Over
doesn't
Justin
mean-
Jefferson.
Doesn't
That's
mean
the
that
biggest.
he's not.
Don't leave that out.
Doesn't mean that he's not a solid number 3 receiver in the league. He's just
Yeah.
not a number 1.
Well,
You know,
it is
he'll
what it
find a
is.
role.
I think you're over. I think you're panicking a little, or you're alarmed over the Yankees is not warranted right now. I understand their record in the last couple. Every team goes through this. Every team, no matter what. And now, shout out to all. Look, I gave the Mets their flowers the other day. I tried to be nice to you people. Okay. And yes, I said you people, you Mets fans out there. I tried to be nice to you guys. And I said, these guys are on a roll. They're going to get to the playoffs. It's going to be fun. Let's play some fucking trumpets. Let's do all this shit. And then you guys come out there the second you guys have a better record than the Yankees. The literal, when the clock struck 12 and the Yankees lost the game, it was like, anybody else see this? The Mets got a better record. Like, who are we? Like, who cares?
I mean,
I didn't care when we had a better record than the Mets. I did not. Not 1 ounce of my being
I don't
shit.
care enough to find a post, but I'm sure if I dug a little bit, and
Dig.
did some
I'm
deep
talking
dive-
dig for that post. I never
No,
once
I
said
just said I'm not gonna dig.
I know, but
Fuck
I'm telling
that.
you that you could, if you had the time, you could dig, and you can never find me saying the Yankees got
Well,
a better record than the Mets.
I
I
hope
don't
you're not
care
speaking
about the Mets until October,
You
my
can't
man.
speak for
Don't
the rest of
care.
Yankee fans, because Yankee fans are equally as douchey as Met fans. And look, this is the part of it that I hate, because there's nothing really it doesn't matter. October matters.
It does not matter.
But there is a lot of Yankee fans that if the Mets fans were talking shit, they would point to the record for the last couple months, and that was something that Yankee fans did. I saw it. I don't know if I've seen you do it, but I've definitely seen Yankee fans do it, which is why I don't like either fan base.
Yeah, like Palm, this is irrelevant.
Ken, you're
irrelevant. You're irrelevant.
You can't say anything because you chime in too much with the Yankees. So,
too much.
To
the point where you got some hate speech going on.
You were bold.
Shut your mouth.
You were
shut your mouth about the Yankees and Mets shit.
Anytime something in baseball comes up, period, somehow you bring up the Yankees.
Yeah, like they're rent free in your dome. Get off the marbles. Seriously, it's enough. Like the Mets are doing good. The Yankees are 71-40. Everybody's doing good. Everybody shut the fuck up and let's have ourselves in August and in September and in October and everybody wins.
I'd much
go to the World
rather-
Series, then talk all the shit you want. When the Mets, if ever the Mets beat the Yankees in the World Series, you guys have all of the shit. You guys can talk all of the shit. I don't care. But right now, it's irrelevant, my man. It's irrelevant. So if any Yankees fans are doing the whole kiss the ring thing, like, oh, 27, like none of that shit matters. None of it. It's 2022, man. It's 2022. None of this shit matters. Not last year, not when we beat you in 2000. Beat that chest. Like, why am I? Betty Agbayani. But I'm not going to bring up that kind of shit. It's done. It's right now. Live in the now, Yankees and Mets fans. Both of you guys.
Are right now. They're
Both
one game better than us.
Fine. But guess what? Guess what that does? Because RJ Ochoa, producer of the Blogging the Boys Network, hits me up and tags me on fucking Instagram in his story. Well, you look at that. He's from Houston. Well, you look at that. The Astros are tied for the best record in baseball. I'm like, okay, I said to him, give me the banner you get, the ring you get, the cash reward you get, what else do you get for having the best record in baseball in August? What do you get? Zero. You get nothing. You get not a zilch, nothing.
But
fuck. Guys are unbelievable.
When I said to you that they were 10-17 in their last 27, you pointed to their record, and I said, "Well,
because every team goes through this, bro.
Doesn't matter.
The fact that the Mets are the same record, that must mean that the Mets went through a period of time where they weren't doing what they're doing right now.
Yeah, it was earlier.
And Houston, who have also the same record as the Yankees. There had to be a point in this season that they are not doing what they're doing right now. Both teams are on the rise. The Yankees are falling a little bit. And we're there.
If you're looking strictly at like win-loss totals, then you that paints a picture, but it doesn't paint the entire picture. The Yankees have a lot of. I'm not going to call them lucky wins because wins are wins, but when you have a ton of come from behind wins and you're winning runs by winning games by one run, and
I'm listening, but I'm also
I'm both. The analytics of this, the Yankees are not playing really good baseball. They're not playing playoff baseball right now, and it's not even a debate.
And you know what? If they walked into the playoffs right now, I wouldn't have the confidence. But guess what? Playoffs don't start right now. They start in 2 months. And we're going to steamroll into the division. We're all these horrible records within the last 50 games, but yet they're still 10.5 up on the Blue Jays. So that the division is done, right? We don't have to worry about a team like the Braves, right? Because nobody's going to touch us in this division.
I feel like that
zero.
Well, that is good to have the lead, and there's nothing to worry about. But there's always something that you have to worry about. And like now, they might not have many meaningful baseball games because they're locked up. So they're just kind of be cruising for a little bit and then all of a sudden have to turn it up in the playoffs. There's always something. I'm worried about Aaron Boone at full season long. I'm worried about a lot of things.
F-bombs in one comment from Ken. That's a lot of Fs, bro. How's Jesus treating you, bro? You all right? You want to be one with the Lord? Everybody calm down. It's baseball, Susan. Everybody calm down, all right? Because this is ridiculous at this point. The Yankees are doing well. The Mets are doing well. Even the fact that Scoop brought up, the Yankees are 22-24 in their last 46. Are we kidding? Are we kidding? 46 games?
No.
But no, he
not
took,
at all.
He took that and he said that's how they spin it. They spin it like, all right, when how many games can I go back to see where they're under 500? Oh, 47 games ago?
But
bullshit.
But bro, 47 games is not a small sample size. That's if you think that right now that like the Yankees are in a good spot, then I don't know what the fuck you're watching.
If I'm not watching the games, I understand they're losing games, piss poor performances, pitching performances.
So what
shit
exactly is the
baseball.
rank?
But what I'm saying
exactly is it?
46 is your sample size. My sample size is 111, and they're 71 and 40. They had to get there. They didn't get there by mistake. They beat the shit out of teams throughout the course of the spring and into the summer. That's it. For anybody telling me that this is not going to, yeah, we get it. We watch the games, bro. And I'm not saying we're not trying to fight each other because we're both Yankee fans. But I'm saying, like, this is a little ridiculous.
Exactly. I'm not sure what it is that you're.
What I'm saying is people, it tends to go back to like stats and analytics and shit like that. When people do that whole, it goes for anybody. Like, this guy is such and such in his last 23 games. Why use 23? Oh, because that's the last time he sucked.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
If you're not looking at things like that, then I think you're just choosing to put on blinders because those things are relevant. They matter. Like in the last 50 games, that's 2 months of baseball, almost 2 months of baseball. Like,
but are
we supposed below 500?
But are we supposed to forget about the first 3 months of baseball?
No. But Dave, if you're playing really good in week 3 or 4 in the NFL, like the Panthers were 3-0 when they were 5-11, where you're like, well, they really had a good first month. No, they're playing like shit down the stretch.
But that's different because as soon as if you start 3-0 and all of a sudden you're 3-4, it's time to alarm because it's football.
Other
small
teams
sample.
Get better. Other teams get better.
Small games on the schedule. Small game amount. When you have X amount of
50 games, Dave.
No. There's 162
but 46 of them in the if they're below 500 in the last 50 games, to me that's alarming going into the pennant race. 100%. It's not like I'm going to stop rooting for the Yankees because I think that there's
I'm not saying you're going to
concern.
No. All I'm saying is this. I think there might be too much wasted energy on the fact that the Yankees are playing like shit right now because we all know what they're capable of doing, considering the fact that they're 71 and 40. So that means they have the talent. As soon as they get the talent back, like Stanton and Rizzo gets healthier, and this guy comes back, and that guy comes back, and maybe this guy doesn't suck out of the bullpen. Like, there's not a testament to see Clay Holmes get lit up once or twice. You're not like, this guy blows. You know, I'm not Janine.
Right
you know
now,
what I mean? I don't put out this guy sucks every time he does something wrong.
Right now, there's some fucking real concern on my behalf about the Yankees' chances this year. It's about how I felt about them going into the season. I'm not saying that I thought the Yankees had no chance, but I was like, you know what, the Yankees, I'm not buying in. I'm not buying in on Garrett Cole. I'm not buying in on their rotation.
7 shutout innings last night.
Bro, he's
against
still
the Seattle team that can hit.
He still has given up 21 bombs this year.
And
that's
the problem is it's concerning because of what? The contract. The money you pay a guy like that to be your ace.
It's concerning.
And he gives up that shit.
Because we'll just go through the math. If there's 15 teams in the AL and they got 5 out of all 15 times 5, 75 pitchers in the American League, Garrett Cole has given up the second most home runs. That's contract aside, second most home runs. That's a lot of home runs for our ace going into the playoffs. I'm concerned a little bit. I don't like Boone. I still don't.
Now it's a Boone thing?
Dave, these are
things he's done.
If you listen to any single thing, what has Boone done?
But I'm saying it's all about execution on the field. He's not making them run around like morons last night.
It's all about you're singing a very different tune than the one you were singing in the offseason about wanting Boone's job out.
I don't want you're right. I didn't want Boone, but then hey, the Yankees rip off all these wins and they're playing the best baseball. They were being compared to the 98 Yankees in June. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, okay. So then Boone must have these guys playing for him. Boone must be the guy. What is that over there, Chief?
That's the problem with all this is that this season they start comparing them to arguably one of the best teams that went out there for the New York Yankees. You can't do that because then once this shit starts happening, everybody starts fucking freaking out. And people
are excited. People are excited. People are excited when their team wins, and when their team isn't winning, then they get fucking bent about it. I'm not necessarily bent. I understand that there's ways to fix this, and the Yankees are going to be in the postseason, so they're going to have a crack at it. They get hot at the right time, but right now, if I'm looking at the Yankees' chances, and I'm looking at the Astros, who they can't beat in big games, I'm looking at the Mets, those two pitchers in a 7-game series, like the Mets are a tough out right now.
I said that the other day.
Right?
I said that the other day.
The Dodgers
Good luck
exist. The Brewers exist. The Padres exist. There's a bunch of good baseball teams. The Yankees are not the only one. And in fact, if I'm looking at it as the top 5 teams, the Yankees are playing the worst out of all of them right now.
Yeah.
Based on record,
that's a debate.
I said based on record, yeah.
No, 100%. Just forget about the record. Based on how they look right now, the Yankees are not playing. They're not playing like a playoff team.
Well, I just told you today that if the Yankees went into the playoffs tomorrow, yes, because of the fact of how they've been playing in the last couple of weeks, I'm like, you know what? It ain't that. That's not a World Series team. But I also remember once upon a time this season,
they might not win
that this Yankee team was on pace to win 130 games at one point. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was unheard of, and people didn't understand where the fuck did this come from. Judge Stanton, everybody's healthy.
But that's part of
things happen.
That's part of it, though, because nobody understood. Like, we were all shocked when the Yankees were playing as well as they were.
But we were accepted of it. It's almost as if, like, right now,
because
people are living in
because it was what it was. But now it's starting to, like, come back down to reality a little bit, and that's concerning. And I've never been a fan of Boone. And I said, look, it's hard to say anything when they're winning this way, but I want to see how Boone holds up, and he has to make big decisions late in the season when how many games you're up in the standings don't matter, because the goal is the World Series. That's when I worry about Boone.
Right now, the goal is to get a 1 or 2 seed. What?
I said it's not him making the decisions.
Well, whatever the case may be.
He's pretty much just
the goal right now is the 1 or 2 seed. You get a bye, you get to sit back, get your guys healthy, get everybody ready to rock, and then you have Garrett Cole and you have Frankie Montas as your 1 and 2 to try to get things going.
Nestor's the 2. It has to be.
Well, whatever. I don't think so.
Yeah,
but I mean, statistically, sure. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at Montez's record, it's actually kind of terrible because he came from a terrible team. But what I'm saying is this. Get to the show. Everybody's going to get there. All the teams we're talking about will be there, right? All the teams, the Yankees, the Mets, everybody will be where they are. And I said this the other day, and I'm not taking back my statement. The Mets are an absolute threat in the NL. Why? Because when they get the 1 or the 2, right? Whatever seat, they're going to sit back and relax, wait for whatever team gets to them. And guess what? That team, when they're rolling into Flushing's like, all right, we're in the division. Shit. And it's Scherzer and DeGrom, and it's Cookie, and it's all and Bassett and fucking Diaz. The Mets are going to do very good things in October, but let's not pretend that the Yankees won't be there too. That's all I'm saying. If the Yankees had the season that they had, right? Let's just say they
I don't think there's a single person that thinks that the Yankees aren't making the playoffs.
No. I'm talking about they're going to be there. When I say there, a chance to make it to the World Series.
Well, playoffs.
No. Not even wild card, not division round, ALCS. They will be there. They will be there, right? Mark it down now. It's not hard to predict. The Yankees will be there. And if it's the Astros, which all signs point to yes, or it's anybody else, our faith relies on the guys that we have. And by that time, we'll have our guys back. We'll have a couple guys called up, the expanded rosters, blah, blah, blah. The Yankees didn't make it to 71-40 by accident. That's all I'm saying. Right now, not so fun. But they're still a good baseball team.
They also didn't lose 17 of 27 by accident either. Just saying.
You know what you won't lose? Money when you retire, because there's guys like Michael Fusco for that. How you like that segue? You guys worried about that? I'm not, because I got my man, Michael Fusco. Fusco Insurance Agency. He can help you create a comprehensive retirement plan to explore using life insurance and annuities to help you build a more secure future so you can worry a little bit less now. I think he's a Mets fan, actually. Call 718-701-5787 to schedule your complimentary consultation. 718-701-5787. Guarantees and protections are subject to the claims paying ability of the issuing company. Some insurance policies are not available in all states. And if you're into the financing game and you want to finance starting at $300, if you have 540 FICO score, that's a lot of Fs, just not as much as Ken just used in that rant. 540 FICO score. Go get some financing via Michael Fusco. And a special shout out also to Chat, social media platforms, blockchain, social media, all that stuff. Our boy Glenn doing work over there. Very proud of those guys. They're really kicking ass with that app. SteveAspar.com, designing ChopSportsMedia.com right now. And, of course, a special shout out to Lowell's Beauty Bar down the hall. They're the ones supplying all the hair and makeup for our commercial shoot that we did for Hater Fantasy Sports. So, Madison, I got to hook you up. We'll get you some makeup and hair over there for your last day or something. I'll make sure they're here, and then they doll you up, and then you can leave and be like, yep, Dave did this. Like, Dave just did my hair and makeup and just, pretend. Anyway, Gooch, the Grundle.
The Grundle is clean, ladies and gentlemen. Head on over to manscaped.com. Use the promo code CHOPSPORTS. And they have the Performance Package 4.0. It comes equipped with the Lawnmower 4.0 400K LED light. It is waterproof. It does have a porcelain blade. It's like a kiss on the booty crack. And be careful when you're using this thing, because you could get a little carried away, and then you might end up walking out of the bathroom completely hairless, head to toe. So
like a cat.
Careful. But head on over to Manscaped. Promo code CHOPSPORTS. 20% off.
20%.
Back to you, Dave.
It's been a show. And I specifically said that in when we were standing outside, we're talking about the show, and I said, Don't bring this up. It'll get
Dave
my heart
is
rushing.
choosing not to see the Yankees sucking for the last month.
I choose optimism, folks.
He's like, oh,
I had a big glass of optimism this morning.
In fucking April.
All right. Is that how I sound? Just like that? All right. NFL coverage. Guess what, folks? We are on, and we started with the NFC South. This week, we started with the Carolina Panthers, and then we moved on to the hot Atlanta Falcons, and now today it's who dat as we move on to the New Orleans Saints. Lots to discuss about the Saints because this might be one of those things in Vegas right now, not doing what I think they should have did here. Something's wrong. Something's wrong here. They went 9-8 last year, and Jameis Winston missed a lot of time. So that means to me, the team was built good, despite the fact they had Taysom Hill, Trevor Siemian, guys like that playing the ball. I think Trevor Siemian did not beat. He had one big game.
He came in
or he almost beat Brady or something.
No, he did.
He beat Brady, right?
But Winston
started that game. He started that one off. But the Saints this year are definitely a new look, new head coach. I believe it's Dennis Allen, if I'm not mistaken. Defensive coordinator, moved to head coach, I think. I don't know why I don't know that off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure I should have wrote that down. But anyway, they did lose some key members. They did. Their offensive line actually got beat up a little bit via free agency, but then they kind of addressed it in the draft. Teron Armstead, probably the most highly coveted tackle in free agency, goes to the Dolphins. He leaves, skips town. They also lose Jordan Mills on the right side, too. So both tackles, goodbye. They lost Marcus Williams, right? And I'm thinking, oh, safety, that's not good. But again, everything that the Saints lost, I feel like they upgraded with the rebound, like getting more guys. So their key additions, Marcus May, fantastic safety. Okay. I think the Jets kind of let one go there. I don't know about the whatever. I think they messed up by letting him go. Marcus May, they signed Andy Dalton, in case anybody's wondering where the red rifle is.
Jets got Whitehead though, right?
Huh?
From the Bucks.
So who now?
I think the Jets signed Whitehead from the Bucks.
To do what?
To safety. So I think that was like lateral move.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, lateral, I would say, maybe. Oh, remember, actually, it's funny we bring up safety. Remember we were talking about the Chiefs? You're like, oh, who's that guy, Sorensen? He's a Saint. So he's over there in New Orleans.
He's there with Tyrann Mathieu. So we're still going to get to see the Tyrann Mathieu memes with him throwing his hands up like 40 yards back as Sorensen's getting
So they're reunited, and it feels so good.
That's so cool.
I know. So they signed Chris Herndon to play tight end behind Toutman. They got Taco Charlton for some reason. Not sure about that. I will still never forgive Jerry Jones for that move. You know, remember, they drafted Taco Charlton over one TJ Watt. I still want to just kill myself on that one. Kevin King over TJ Watt. One pick before him. We also drafted Vonnie Holiday over Randy Moss. One pick before him. Yeah, Greg Ellis before Randy Moss. So everybody missed the boat on Moss. Everybody missed the boat on TJ Watt. But anyway, their draft, they did, and we'd be remiss. You said it already. Honey Badger goes over there. So is Juice Landry. So Jarvis goes back to LSU to go play some ball. So I like that too. Their draft was very good. Their first round was very, very good. They drafted Olave to play receiver, and of course Trevor Penny to play offensive tackle. So you lose Armstead, you get Penny. Might be even that could be a future Armstead. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see about that. Yeah, what in the world? Casey coming in. What in the world do we expect from Michael Thomas? Well, here's the lineup of what it looks like right now. And I'm looking at the Saints team, and I'm like, you know what? They got a lot of talent over there. It's kind of weird. Winston's the quarterback. We all know that. There's a guy, you might have heard of him. His name is Alvin Kamara. We don't know about any, because we're all wrapped up in the Watson shit. We never actually readdressed, or the NFL hasn't addressed or even talked about.
There was violence. I read the whole article.
Oh, yeah.
Talked about Kamara.
So let's see. But behind him, ready for this though? Serviceable behind him. I've always been a Mark Ingram guy, and when he got back to the Saints, it was almost like a rejuvenation for him. Malcolm Brown is signed by the Saints, and then on top of that, this guy Tony Jones Jr. last year actually showed some flashes, so he might be an actual decent back. So even when they lose Kamara, I think that the running game, while it will be impacted in the passing game, as far as like the running back catching the ball out of the backfield, I don't know. It's not that far of a drop off when it comes to running style. The receivers, another one, like Michael Thomas. What do we expect? I don't know. Like, he hasn't played in it feels like 3 calendar years. That's what it feels like. But he's coming back. And of course, again, sign Landry. They draft Olave. They get Marcus Callaway's over there. Traquan Smith still over there. Had a decent season last year. That receiving core is actually sneaky good if Thomas plays like 80% of the season. And I'm not saying listen, I can't question the guy's durability. It just seems like he's been missing a lot of football. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know. Offensive line going into this year is ranked 18th. So they're kind of a little farther than middle of the pack. But that Trevor Penning draft was huge. They needed that. The defensive line, one of my favorite players in the league is Cam Jordan. He's a menace. He's always been. Davenport's the other side. DeMario Davis, linebacker. Lattimore, one of the better corners in the league. Their defense right now is ranked 13th. So middle of the pack defense. And sometimes when you have a really good offense, all you need is a middle of the pack defense to get yourselves to the promised land. So when you look at this team, Gooch, what stands out? What are you feeling this 8? I mean, we'll go over the schedule because I got some juicy stuff to come up with the Saints right now.
I think that the number is decent. I think they're probably minus money to hit the over. They have to. 8 seems a little bit low for a team that didn't really have that much roster turnover. Their offensive line, while they're losing guys, a lot of those guys didn't play much last year. Mainly Armstead, he got hurt. And the guys that are expected to step in played a significant role in that team last year. So the thing that does jump out at me most, though, is Dennis Allen, first season as the Saints head coach. He's had some stops before in the NFL. I don't know if he's ever made it through a full season or if he was just an interim guy, because it says 4th season as an NFL head coach, and his entire combined record is 8-28 overall. So that doesn't necessarily mean that he's not a good coach. He might have stepped into some shitty situations mid-firing, mid-season, but that's my main thing. A guy that I don't think that Dennis Allen is some sought after coaching prospect. I don't think that it was teams lining up to sign Dennis Allen.
It just seemed like that he was a good fit for that.
A good fit for that spot. But to me, I think it's a little bit lazy on their part, and we'll see.
I mean, they had the chance at guys like Brian Flores and shit, and they decided not to go that route.
I'm not a fan of the head coaching situation, but I could be proven wrong. I did not like Dan Campbell getting signed by the Lions, and I've completely done a 180 on that one. So we'll see. That's my major concern, though. I think the defense will be fine. In their home games, they're always going to be tough to beat. Jameis Winston is day-to-day, so the ankle injury,
I think he'll be fine.
Not such a big deal, but he's not fully healthy yet from the rehab knee. They said that he's limited in practice as it is. So it's not a good start for Jameis because as you're dealing with an ankle, I don't know if it's the same leg or not, but hopefully for his sake it's not, because that could lead to something way worse down the line. I'm going to say I like the over because I don't think their division is good. You could look at maybe a sneaky loss to one of their shitty division teams, but they should get 4 wins out of the Falcons and the Panthers right out of the gate, as far as I'm seeing it. And they usually will split with Tampa Bay no matter how good they are. So I think that they have a really good chance. They're not going to win their division this year, but they have they're definitely a fringe playoff team. I like over 100%. Tyrann Mathieu, a solid player. He's going to make big plays for that defense while everything else remains largely the same. And I think early in their season, if you look at their schedule,
favorable, my friend.
It's pretty favorable with the games that they wouldn't have Kamara. If it is 6 games, he comes back week 7 against the Cardinals on a Thursday night. So if they can manage to go 3-3, which I think is easy with no Kamara, this team is a slightly above 500, possible 10, 11 win team, but I'll say 10 to be safe.
Here we go. Ready for the juice. The juice is about to come out of me right now. Here we go. So the New Orleans Saints this year will be the NFC South Division champions. Okay. Here's where I got the Saints. Okay. That's huge to me. I feel like, and yes, I know what you're seeing on you. There's something on fire on the desk right now. It's called a hot take, ladies and gentlemen. The New Orleans Saints will win the division. Why? And even here's some more better juicy nuggets for you. The New Orleans Saints will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 0 to start the season. 10-0. Then they're going to hit a little bit of a skid. Okay. Then they lose to the Rams, lose to San Fran, lose at Tampa. And then they go to bye. Their bye is 10-3. They already hit the over at their bye. I'm not doing this for clicks. I'm not doing this for attention. I'm telling you right now, the Saints to go 9-8 last year with the team they had with no quarterback play towards the back end is very, very impressive to me. The fact that you added a lot of talent is very impressive to me. The fact that you have Olave with Jarvis Landry, if that was your tandem, I would say that's pretty decent. But now you add a Michael Thomas, who used to be, once upon a time, was considered one of the top 5 receivers in football, right? The tight end situation, but we don't know about Taysom Hill. Where is this guy going to line up? That's another X factor that you just can't plan for. If he's quarterbacking, he stinks. He sucks. He's not a good quarterback. But I will say this. Their back end of the season, it's a little tough. You know, like I said, they're going to lose 3, go into the bye, come back, beat up on the Falcons, right? And then the last 3 games at Cleveland, at Philly, home against Carolina, alarming. But I'm saying the ceiling right now for the New Orleans Saints this year is to win 12 games and win the NFC South. Because I don't know, man. I got this feeling. And I don't like the Saints. So I'll tell you right now, I don't like the Saints. Why? Because fan bases to me, like once you're too overconfident, I start to hate your team.
12 games is a lot.
Like what he does with the Packers. It makes me, I don't want to hate the Packers, but like he makes me hate the Packers. But then you got the Saints who Craig always says, oh, they're the best. They're the best. I'm like, oh God, the Saints just blow. And then the Cowboys beat them up last year. And I was feeling good about myself. But again, their quarterback was Taysom Hill. He didn't know what the hell he was doing. I just feel like the Saints this year with Jameis Winston will be a very, very good team. Defensively in particular. This defense coming in middle of the pack with Honey Badger behind that and Lattimore behind that corner and that Cam Jordan, you can't discredit that guy. That defense is going to shock a lot of people. And if the offense can put up the numbers that I think they could, I think Tom Brady in his Fugazi final year doesn't win the division. They'll get into the playoffs, but I don't know.
Wild card Tom Brady is scary.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't want nothing to do with that.
You will,
chip
though,
on his shoulder.
if you don't
Tom
get the bye.
Brady. Fuck.
That's where I got the Saints, man.
Yeah, the Saints. I don't think.
Well, you just said 10-11, so me saying 12 isn't that
10
egregious.
wins, 11 is like I felt weird saying it. I can't see Jameis Winston win because he's too up and down. He's going to blow games too. Part of the reason why I love Jameis Winston so much.
He's just a man crush all of Jameis Winston. I just think the front end of this schedule is favorable, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, find me the loss, Dave. That first game against Tampa in New Orleans, I got the Saints winning that game, right? And then that first game at Atlanta, easy for me.
Wait.
Where's the loss, bro?
Wait.
Cincinnati has to go there.
Wait. As we do the Bucks tomorrow, I won't be here. I just have a little spoiler alert. Dave, you got the Bucks going 0-2 to start the season?
I didn't say they were going to beat the Cowboys yet.
I'm just saying, like.
I didn't say they were going to beat the Cowboys yet.
No, I know. You. That's what I'm saying. You're saying they're going to lose to the Cowboys.
I didn't say they were going to beat them.
Do you think the Cowboys are going to beat the Bucks, Dave?
I don't know. We're doing the NFC East in a couple weeks, and we'll talk about that. But we won't
have to do it tomorrow.
You're right. I have to do the Bucks preview tomorrow.
Oh, so tie.
Shut your mouth over there.
Moral victories don't count.
Actually, Moral Victory Monday was a very, very fun day last year. I came in here walking around like McGregor because we lost to Tom Brady by like that much. You know, and I was like, we almost did it, right? Yeah.
No, and we lost to Jameis Winston by 38.
Exactly. Jameis fucking Winston, bro. Oh, my God. We're early in time. All right. Well, by the way, so as we kind of wrap up the show, get the Saints, like I said, we'll see what they do. We'll see, right? But did you watch, this is probably a dumb question. Did you watch Hard Knocks last night?
No, but Jamal Williams' speech. Love the guy.
Bro. Jamal Williams. What a guy.
I'm
crying for this shit. He gets emotional. I was like, holy shit. But
he was like
Jamal was great. Did you hear Campbell in the beginning?
No, I didn't.
I want see this brick wall. It's not real brick, but I would run through that brick
Jamal
wall.
Williams updates because he's used to be a Packer, so I still follow him on socials. Jamal Williams is that dude.
Oh, he's
like
absolutely
SpongeBob. I asked him how did it feel like? How did it feel playing in the rain today? He's like, oh, I feel like SpongeBob.
Like, what? Jamal Williams when they interviewed. By the way, did you see the coaching staff over there? Ready for this? Rolodex. Campbell's the head coach, former tight end. Their offensive line coach is the former Eagle. I forget his name. We're missing off the top of my head. Former player for the Philadelphia Eagles, right? Very good. Actually played like 13 years in the league. Receivers coach, Antoine Randall L. Running backs coach, Deuce Staley. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden they have like this, a cornerback or defense coordinator, Aaron Glenn. He has all these former players, and that's look, I'm not going to say like all players make great coaches, but man, when you're in it, like those guys are going to be great coaches. And I think this Detroit Lions team, we'll talk about them in a couple of weeks, but damn, like they got me thinking. Like I said, Campbell's first speech was about 3-4 minutes long in the beginning.
That Detroit Lions team, let me tell you, man, they're going to go 8-9. They're going to be really good. They're going to cover some spreads, but they're not going to win.
When you feel like that, remember that fucking record, okay? Remember that record, right? Bro, I'm telling you, Campbell, he's something special, man. I like watching this guy coach. Bro, he did 100 up downs with his secondary.
I know. I fucking saw that annoyance on.
See, how's that annoying? That's such a G move, man. It's I'm in it with you guys. I'm in the trenches with you guys. I'm doing these up downs. I'm in better shape than half of all of us. Like, this is insane to me. And don't.
I don't care that he's doing it. I don't mind that he's doing it. I just like don't need to see it. I don't care about Detroit Lions coaching doing fucking up downs. I care about Jamal Williams' speech though.
No, dude, that's it, bro. Ken Palmer just said it. That speech, he goes, I don't care. Yeah, he's telling him I don't care if you got one ass cheek and 3 fingers. And I was like, the fuck did he say? Does that make did that make any sense whatsoever? He went on this rant where I'm telling you, I was sitting on the couch. I looked next to me. I said, I want to run through a wall right now. She's like, really? And I was like, yeah. I was like, that speech slapped, as the kids say. But anyway,
he's gonna have like 80 carries for 320 yards.
I worked out today over at the Kingdom, and I get to control, since it's just me right now and their doors aren't open yet. I get to play my Bluetooth. And you best believe that I had the Hard Knocks theme song playing the entire time. So I love that shit. Gets the juices flowing and the veins popping and the goosies.
You don't have like music OCD. You can leave a fucking loop of one song on and work out to it.
If you saw my playlist, I've listened. Truth be told, I work out for, I want to say, with the weights, 45 minutes to maybe an hour, depending on what I'm doing that day.
Dave, what's going on with
there
your
is
playlist?
No playlist. There is.
That's disturbing.
It depends on the day.
You need help.
If I'm doing chest,
I don't think I've listened.
If I'm doing chest,
song. I don't think I've listened to one full song in completion on purpose. Like if I'm doing stuff passively, but I change the song before it's over almost.
You're crazy. You're crazy. So that's good.
Never two
Ken
songs.
Palmer, JPP,
straight.
not happy about that comment. That's actually really funny. No, like that's straight up chest day.
Wow, he's got 2 ass cheeks.
Brock Lesnar theme song the entire time. Arms, Roman Reigns the entire time. Shoulders.
Some things you should keep
John
to yourself,
Cena.
Dave.
No. Like, go ahead. Try listening. When I want to do cardio and doing like my own up downs or some kind of cardiovascular day, I'll put on the Hard Knocks theme song, pretend to myself, picture myself in a NFL training camp.
There's nothing wrong with putting on the Hard Knocks theme song, but there's something really wrong with it going on repeat for 45 minutes. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. You should try and change that. I guarantee your day will start better.
No, man.
Bro, trust me. Get some fucking
half the shit you listen to. I can't get behind some of that.
That's
because sometimes
the funny thing about music is it's like there's more of it than just what's on my playlist and the Brock Lesnar theme song.
Alexa, play the best.
That's it.
Get out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, that's been a show. Sorry. That's been a show.
Music vultures gotta go.
It's gone already. Anyway, we want to thank you guys for coming on in here, watching this show. Sorry about the heat before, about the Yankees and stuff. It is what it is. I get excited and mad, and it all just kind of all together. So anyway, see like the new Artie thing I put up there? Haha, watch this. Ready? It goes. It's not flashing. The little lights, they're not twinkling. There it is. So a little extra there. Shout out to Artie yesterday. Great meeting. I'm so excited about your future.
Should see if they could have an apple that comes up from the desk in honor of the Mets World Series championship this year.
Squat day, Cardi B. Leg day. Who does legs? That's so dumb. Anyway, I did legs once in the past like 14 years, and I hate it every time I do it. So I'm
nuggets.
I'm what you call top heavy. Okay, I'm just like I'm up here, and I don't wear like skin tight jeans like one of those losers. I don't do that, so you really can't tell if I do legs or not. Can't tell.
Just call me a loser.
Why? Because you wear skinny jeans?
I don't wear skinny jeans, but I definitely wear little tighter.
You're a tinier person than me. Like you can pull that shit off.
Don't not try to emasculate me
I'm
on
not
camera. Trying to say tiny. You're not supposed to use tiny to a man.
No,
unless you expect to.
You're not as big as me. I'm a fat motherfucker, bro. Like I have to wear baggy stuff.
He's trying to make it better now. He's like bashing himself to try and
self-deprecation 101. I learned it from Jimmy Palumbo. Getting involved here. But yeah, so I wasn't calling you tiny. I'm saying you're a smaller individual than me, and you can pull off different clothes. Like sometimes you wear on a Wednesday, you'll wear a collared shirt.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Yes, you can.
No, I can't.
Yeah, you can.
Nah, I can't do it.
You can.
I mean, I could. I mean, I very well could do it. I just choose not to.
I don't do it all.
I'm a t-shirt guy. If I had my way, I would wear sleeveless when I'm doing the show. But once upon a time,
if I had my way, I'd have my titties out this whole time right now.
Once upon a time, a hack of a comedian said one time that maybe, what guy does a podcast with his sleeves cut off? And I was like, you might have heard of Pat McAfee. I'm not sure. He wears the same goddamn tank top every day. And I wish I can do that. I mean, I can do that. There's nothing wrong with me doing it. But I'm just not one of those
The sound
guys.
of my titties about to come out.
I'm not one of those guys that show it all off on the show. I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. See you guys tomorrow for Sturch and Gooch and Nick and Madison. This has been another show. I will see you tomorrow, and I believe that non-weightlifting Scoop will be joining me, as also Wrestling Rob will be producing.
Allahu Akbar.
So bring your magic carpet, and we'll see you tomorrow.